I have an urgent message specifically for you today. You've been feeling something isn't right in your relationship lately, and now there's a reason for those feelings. The person closest to you has been hiding something significant from you. Stay alert to the signs you've been seeing. Those canceled plans, the distant look in their eyes, the way conversations suddenly stop when you enter the room. These are not coincidences. This message found you at exactly the right moment because time is running out. The universe has been trying to prepare you through those dreams where you're searching for someone, through that knot in your stomach when they say, everything is fine. Your intuition has been trying to warn you, but now you need to know exactly what's happening before it's too late. The person you care about most is planning something that will change everything between you. Your special person is actively planning to end every tie with you. This isn't a passing thought or momentary frustration. They've been carefully developing this exit strategy for weeks. On the surface, they continue with normal routines, perhaps even making future plans with you. They might be extra affectionate one day, then distant the next. This inconsistency isn't random mood changes. It's part of their emotional disconnection process. They haven't acted on their plan yet because they're waiting for specific conditions to be right. They need certain practical matters arranged first: financial preparations, housing arrangements, or support systems in place. They've calculated the timing carefully, likely planning to tell you during a period when you'll have the least emotional support available. What they're planning to tell you when they leave will only be half-truths. The reasons they've rehearsed to explain their departure aren't the complete story. They've constructed a narrative that puts the responsibility on circumstances, compatibility issues, or personal growth needs, anything but the real motivations driving this decision. This revelation is coming to you now because you still have a narrow window of opportunity to understand what's really happening and potentially change the outcome. Without this awareness, you would be caught completely unprepared for what they're planning to do. Look closely at how your special person's behavior has changed recently. They've been creating small distances in ways you've noticed but dismissed. Their phone suddenly has a new password. They position their screen away from you when messaging. Conversations end abruptly when you enter the room. These aren't paranoid observations. They're real clues your intuition has been gathering. Their communication patterns have shifted subtly. They respond to messages more slowly. The emotional depth in your conversations has decreased. They answer questions about their day with vague, surface-level responses. They no longer share small daily details or ask about yours. This emotional withdrawal isn't because they're busy. It's a deliberate pulling away. Have you noticed they're suddenly working late more often, creating more outings with friends that exclude you? These are test separations, seeing how it feels to be away from you, creating practice runs for their new independent life. Pay attention to their digital footprint. They've been researching topics they wouldn't normally discuss with you. Perhaps housing in different areas, financial independence questions, or even relationship exit strategies. Their search histories, if you could see them, would reveal preparations they've hidden from you. Most telling are their reactions when you try to plan the future together. They become vague, change the subject, or make non-committal agreements they never follow up on. When you bring up long-term plans, watch their body language, the slight stiffening, the breaking of eye contact, the subtle shift in their voice. These physical reactions can't lie even when their words do. Your special person isn't acting alone in this decision. Specific people in their life have been influencing their thinking, planting doubts, highlighting problems, making comparisons that create dissatisfaction. These influences have been happening in conversations you're not privy to, through messages and calls when you're not around. Financial and material concerns drive much of their planning. They've been calculating how separation would affect their lifestyle, security, and future opportunities. They see potential advantages in untangling their life from yours that they haven't disclosed. Fear guides their approach more than they would admit. They fear confrontation, fear your emotional reaction, fear what walking away openly would reveal about themselves. This isn't about not caring. It's about being too afraid to face the real issues directly. They tell themselves this secret planning is actually kindness, that a clean break will somehow hurt you less than honest communication now. They've convinced themselves that once certain dates or milestones pass, that will be the right time to end things. What they plan to tell you focuses on how you're just growing in different directions or want different things. The truth is more complex, involving their own insecurities, external pressures, and a fundamental unwillingness to do the difficult work that real intimacy requires. This planned separation would affect you more deeply than they understand. They haven't considered the full emotional impact of their actions, how their carefully constructed exit will leave lasting wounds precisely because of its calculated nature. Finding out someone chose to mislead rather than communicate creates a special kind of hurt that affects future relationships. The aftermath they haven't planned for includes practical and emotional ripples that will spread through both your lives. Shared friends will be forced to navigate divided loyalties. Family connections that have developed will be strained or broken. The foundation of trust you've built with others might be shaken when they see how this relationship ended. Your intuition has been sending warning signals through dreams, through those moments of inexplicable sadness, through the questions that arise in your mind when you catch them in small inconsistencies. These aren't random anxieties. They're your deeper wisdom trying to prepare you. This relationship challenge carries spiritual significance beyond the practical concerns. It represents a critical growth moment that will either strengthen your understanding of love and trust or reinforce patterns of disconnection. Your special person doesn't recognize that by planning this exit strategy, they're not just leaving a relationship, they're making a soul-level choice that will follow them into future connections. This situation follows a pattern in your special person's life that they themselves may not fully recognize. In previous relationships, they've created similar exit strategies, carefully planning departures while maintaining a facade of normalcy. They believe this approach protects others, but it actually protects them from facing difficult emotions and conversations. Look at how their previous relationships ended. You'll likely find they've used similar approaches before, gradually pulling away emotionally while maintaining appearances until practical arrangements were in place. This cycle repeats because they've never addressed the underlying fears of vulnerability and conflict that drive it. They believe separation is their only option because they lack the emotional tools and courage to address problems directly. The possibility of growth through conflict, of deeper connection through vulnerability, remains invisible to them when they're in this pattern. Their plan for handling the aftermath involves limited contact disguised as giving you space, really creating the distance they need to avoid witnessing your pain. They imagine a future where this clean break leads to personal freedom and new possibilities, not recognizing how unresolved endings follow us. Without addressing this pattern, they'll carry these same tendencies into future relationships, creating connections with built in escape hatches rather than foundations of trust and transparency. Right now, a critical window exists where understanding can change the outcome. This window won't remain open much longer. Their plans are advancing daily, with specific actions already in motion. Yet knowledge creates power in this situation. Awareness of what's happening changes the energy dynamic completely. This revelation offers you choices that wouldn't exist if you remained unaware until they executed their plan. With this knowledge, you can approach the situation from a position of clarity rather than confusion. The power shift happens the moment you understand what's truly happening beneath the surface behaviors. Here's what makes this moment so important. Your special person believes their plan is invisible to you. They expect to control the timing and narrative completely. When met with your awareness instead of blindsided hurt, their carefully constructed exit strategy loses its power. The truth beneath their plans to leave isn't what you might expect. Beneath the practical preparations and rationalizations lies vulnerability, fear of not being enough, fear of being truly known, fear of failing if they stay and try. These deeper truths remain unacknowledged even to themselves. How they respond to being understood rather than accused will reveal everything about whether this relationship can transform. If genuine connection is still possible, it will appear in the moment they realize they've been seen beneath their protective layers. This window of opportunity represents more than just saving a relationship. It offers the chance for both of you to break patterns that have limited authentic connection. But this potential for transformation exists only within this brief period before their plans solidify into irreversible action. Approaching this situation requires careful strategy. Choose a private, neutral setting for this conversation, not in public where they might contain emotions, nor in a space filled with relationship history that could trigger defensiveness. Create uninterrupted time without the pressure of deadlines or appointments afterward. Begin by expressing care rather than accusations. Say, "I've noticed changes between us, and I care about you enough to have an honest conversation." This opens the door without putting them immediately on defense. Follow with specific observations about patterns, not accusations about intentions. "I've noticed you seem distant lately," rather than, "You've been pulling away from me." When they respond with prepared excuses about being busy or stressed, acknowledge these factors with, "I understand those pressures are real. I'm wondering if there's something deeper happening that might be harder to talk about." This invitation to deeper truth offers safety for honesty. Their body language will reveal much during this conversation. Watch for tension release, sighs, shoulders dropping, eyes meeting yours. These signal breakthrough moments when defenses lower. If they start sharing authentic feelings, simply listen without interrupting, even through uncomfortable pauses. Avoid these conversation destroyers. "You always" statements, bringing up past failures, or asking "how could you" questions. These immediately trigger shame and shut down responses. If they deny everything despite evidence, don't argue or present proof. Simply say, "I'm sharing what I've observed and how it makes me feel. I want to understand what's really happening between us." Then wait in silence, allowing the pressure of that space to invite truth. You must act on this information immediately. The energy surrounding this situation is reaching a critical point where your special person's plans are nearly finalized. Waiting even 3 days could mean missing the opportunity to address what's happening before irreversible steps are taken. The universe has aligned to bring you this message at precisely the right moment, just as your special person is finalizing their exit strategy, but before they've enacted it. This divine timing is no coincidence. The guidance being offered now comes from a place of deep seeing and understanding of both your energies. Trust what has been revealed here. Your own intuition has been trying to communicate these same warnings. That's why certain parts of this message feel familiar, like truths you've known but couldn't quite access clearly. Show your appreciation for this revealed guidance through super thanks. This energy exchange ensures continued insights at critical moments in your journey. The connection to this source of truth becomes stronger through your acknowledgement of its value. The opportunity before you now isn't just about preventing a painful separation. It's about transforming your relationship into something more authentic than it's ever been. This challenging moment contains the potential for breakthrough if approached with the awareness you now possess. Act today. Everything depends on what you do with this knowledge right now.